Straight ahead on CCX News, a local city moves to tighten tobacco restrictions for young people, but tries to find a middle ground. Plus, a good day at the polls for local school districts looking to raise money. But first, we'll hear from the new person headed to Golden Valley's City Council. CCX News starts right now. On this day after the election, we have results and reaction from City Council winners and school districts.
We will start with the Golden Valley City Council. Jillian Rosenquist will be new to the City Council. She won a seat with 33% of the vote. Incumbent Larry Faunest was re-elected with 32%. He was the only incumbent running. John Giese had 17%, Jim Ryan 10%, and Andy Schuler 7%.
And Eric Nelson got a chance to talk with Jillian Rosenquist today. Eric?
Yeah, Mike, Jillian Rosenquist is the new kid on the City Council block, and she is excited for this challenge. Rosenquist has previously worked for Golden Valley's Open Space and Recreation Department and has been on several light rail committees. Rosenquist is thrilled to be part of a thriving and vibrant suburb.
It's a wonderful time to be in Golden Valley. Golden Valley is growing like gangbusters. We've got a lot of new developments, a lot of mixed living. We've got senior living, we've got living for millennials, we've got the opportunities at the West End.
Rosenquist believes the new Brookview is going to be a gem and that Golden Valley will benefit from the facility. Bringing light rail to the city is also one of Rosenquist's goals, especially with major corporations such as Allianz, General Mills, Mortenson, and Pentair located within the city's borders. Rosenquist is hoping that light rail and other transit options will make the city less car dependent.
We have new transit opportunities by bike, by foot, hopefully new opportunities to work with Metro Transit on getting different bus service for our community. And I think it's also an opportunity to really connect up with the rest of our region.
And once again, Rosenquist and incumbent Larry Faunest won council seats in yesterday's election. Rosenquist got 33% of the vote. Mike?
All right, thank you. Tuesday was a good day for local school districts trying to raise money to keep up with growth.
In the Anoka-Hennepin School District, voters easily passed 2 bond questions. The first asked voters for an additional $9.5 million per year to provide relief to class sizes and operational needs. It passed with 66% of the vote. In question 2, voters also approved a record $249 million bond to build 2 new elementary schools, build additions on 9 schools, and remove all 62 portable classrooms across the district. That includes at Champlain Park High School.
And Superintendent David Law says they are thankful for the support and residents can expect to see improvements.
Across our high schools, people will notice where we have portables, we're going to be starting to dig up some ground, build some permanent space there and get rid of those. The first 2 years we should see high school portables at Anoka, Blaine, Coon Rapids, and Champlain removed. Jackson Middle School is going to get rid of portables. There's some portables there across the street from Champlain Park High School, and Champlain Brooklyn Park Academy for Math and Science also is going to get a rebuild. It's currently disconnected by a big long walkway, and we're going to build it all in one half and make that a separate site away from the middle school.
The law says they also plan to address space issues at Champlain Park's theater and physical education areas.
In Brooklyn Center Schools, voters also passed 2 bond questions, though the margin was closer. Question number 1 passed with 55% of the voters saying yes. It will increase Brooklyn Center's operating levy to help improve classroom instruction, expand teacher training, and replace aging buses. Question number 2 will provide nearly $30 million to remodel classrooms, improve school security, and provide separate entrances for middle and high school students.
And voters in the Hopkins School District also approved spending levies, and the margins there weren't even close. The first question raises $30 million to renovate and repair schools. Question 2 raises $10 million a year for curriculum and technology. And the third question also passed. It generates $15 million for student programming and services.
Voters in the Wayzata district also easily passed 3 funding questions, with 77% of voters saying yes. They agreed to renew and increase the operating levy levy for 10 years to provide an additional $5.5 million per year to maintain class sizes and manage growing enrollment. 77% also said yes to question number 2. It raises $70 million to build a new elementary school, enlarge the school cafeteria at Central Middle School, and renovate media centers. Voters also approved question number 3 with 79% saying yes. That renews a technology levy that raises $4 million a year.
Now here's a look at school board races that were decided in Tuesday's voting. In Brooklyn Center, Amy Bailey was the only candidate running in a special election. She won re-election to a seat that she was appointed to earlier this year. In the Wayzata district, 3 incumbent school board members were running for re-election unopposed. Sarah Johansson, Andrea Keene, and Chris McCullough will all serve another term. And the Hopkins School Board will have 3 new members. Jen Westmoreland Bouchard, Chris Latondres, and Fartun Ahmed were all elected. And history was made as voters elected the first Somali-American Muslim woman to the school board.
Being in leadership positions is important because representation is important. If our boards and commissions and city councils don't look like the people that they represent, it's highly problematic because those voices aren't at the table.
Fartun Ahmed is the first one to go through school in her family. She's the oldest of 8, and her parents came to this country from Somalia in the early 90s. She and her siblings went to school in the Hopkins School District, and she says she looks forward to serving in the district.
I really did it because I wanted to show that to people that it's possible, we can do it, and to also give back to the community that I feel like has given me so much. Like we talk about excellence every school, every student, every day, and I benefited from that.
And Fartun will be sworn in January.
Robbinsdale is taking a step towards tighter tobacco regulations.
Reporter Shannon Slatton explains what changes are being made and which are not, at least for now.
You could identify the anti-tobacco advocates at Tuesday's City Council meeting not only by their blue shirts.
Everything went as we hoped, so it's a thrill and a win.
But by their big smiles after the meeting. This grassroots effort pushed for tighter tobacco regulations.
As a resident and as somebody who used to smoke when I was younger, I think it's really a great way to sort of get kids off on the right foot, moving in the right direction as they get older.
The council passed an ordinance to raise the price of small cigars and restrict the sale of certain flavored tobacco products to tobacco shops only, meaning some flavors of cigars would not be sold at small convenience stores or gas stations. The council did not raise the minimum age to buy tobacco to 21, but instead passed a resolution saying they support the idea and they will revisit it in a year. Council members noted this was a tough decision to make in light of the business owners who would feel an impact.
These local businesses are selling illegal products. They have mortgages, they have college tuition to pay for their children, and to suddenly say you cannot sell a illegal product, but across the street somebody else can, to me it does not make sense, and it certainly is not fair in my eye. So we kind of tried to find a good happy medium to accommodate that.
But with the new restrictions on flavored products and higher prices for small cigars, small business owners did not feel like it was a happy medium.
Honestly, this is a very bad news.
They claim if a person can go down the road to buy a product for less, they will.
They are putting us out of business, basically. So when my competition like Hy-Vee down the road, not even, I think, 1 mile.
There are still a few hurdles to clear before this ordinance goes into effect, but anti-tobacco advocates say they are already planning to take their message on the road.
Going forward, we hope to help other communities in the region continue to do this as well.
In Robbinsdale, Shannon Slatton, CCX News.
The council will consider this again next month, and if they approve it again, changes could take effect in January. Well, still ahead on CCX News, a standout student with an eye to the future.
Plus, the Hopkins volleyball team is playing well as they get ready for the state tournament. But first, it might be time to put on the heavier coat on Thursday. Your AccuWeather forecast is coming up next. Well, this week's standout student is a high-flying achiever. A senior, Gabrielle Holton, isn't afraid to challenge herself at Osseo High School.
We are first going to be taking a look at the 2016 Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, and Green Party platforms.
It's no surprise we find 17-year-old Gabrielle Holton in a college-level advanced placement government class.
What else can we do?
This Osseo High School senior is a high flyer, the #1 student in her class.
I try to do my best in whatever I do. I'm pretty adventurous too. I like trying new things and meeting new people. And I also am pretty curious too.
Admittedly shy, Gabrielle looks for ways to push herself, like trying out and earning a role in the fall musical, or leading her teammates as captain in lacrosse, or on defense in hockey.
Gabby really just focuses on getting things done, and she enjoys so much of what she's doing that she never makes it seem like it's a burden, even though I know that she must be incredibly crunched for time. And so it really shows the maturity that she has in order to be successful in really all of these diverse areas of her life. It's pretty remarkable.
Remarkable, but not surprising then to learn Gabrielle knows what she wants to do with her future.
What I want to be is a marine biologist. So I want to study animals and what they do, especially in coral reefs or tide pools.
Exposed early to science, Gabrielle's parents took her on a 6-month educational trip along the East Coast. At age 11, Gabrielle discovered her love of marine life from Maine to Florida.
And so we went snorkeling and we saw sea urchins and barracuda and all these really cool, colorful fish. I loved the experience so much.
Her teacher has no doubt she'll do whatever she sets her mind to.
She is definitely thinking about her future and taking all of those steps that she needs to in order to be successful.
Gabrielle's top choice for college is the University of New Haven in Connecticut. Up next, a head start on the holiday season for a good cause.
But first, it's a big day for some college-bound athletes in the area as they sign national letters of intent. John Jacobson has the details coming up next in sports.
John Jacobson with sports. It's an important day for some of the best high school athletes, their families, and future college coaches. The NCAA's fall signing period opened Wednesday morning, and a handful of local schools had ceremonies featuring their student athletes. At Wayzata High School, 5 athletes signed with Division I programs in various sports: golf, hockey, lacrosse, swimming and diving, and soccer. Among the signees, Colin Schmidt to Minnesota for hockey, and Addison Clark, who is going to West Virginia on a soccer scholarship. At Park Center, 4 athletes were honored, 3 of whom signed for Division I or II athletics. Jarius Cook at NDSU for basketball, Destiny Truly to Arkansas State for bowling, and Megan Du Bois at Concordia St. Paul, where she will play basketball. Wednesday afternoon at Hopkins High School, 7 athletes were recognized. Among them, future Big Ten athletes Natalie Den Hartog, who's headed to Minnesota for softball, and Joe Hedstrom, headed to the University of Wisconsin for basketball. Champlin Park also recognized 6 of its student athletes at a ceremony today. Here's what 3 of the local signees had to say about their college commitment.
It's really exciting. I committed pretty early, so it's been a long time in the making, and finally get that pen to paper. It feels really good. For next year for me, I could either be going to juniors or I could be going straight to the U, so this is a big year for me still, and I got the NHL draft coming up, so I'm hoping to get drafted in that. So this is a big year for me.
I just feel like it was the right fit for me as a basketball player and as a person. It's close to home, so my family will be able to watch me. And just the success that the program has had, as well as the new facilities, is just a perfect fit for me.
I'm just super excited. To sign to the University of Minnesota has always been a goal and a dream, and to be able to compete at that level in the Big Ten with some of the best girls in the nation is just amazing to be able to think about that.
Here now is a look at the names of the local signees from area schools. The state volleyball tournament gets started Thursday morning. The Hopkins Royals are back in the tournament for a third straight season. Jay Wilcox has more on the Royals.
It's a good feeling to be back at the state tournament for the Hopkins Royals. They were far less of a sure thing this season with some new faces in the lineup.
Yeah, it's super exciting, especially for me. It's my first year on varsity. And so just kind of figuring out what it really means to be a varsity athlete is something that is such a learning experience. And just kind of being one of like the elite 8 is something that is kind of an honor in a way, especially after putting in all the work in the season.
There's always uncertainty and nothing's ever a given, but I'm really proud of what we've accomplished this season. We've had some bad losses, but some great wins, and I like where we're headed. So hopefully we can have the culmination of all of our progress in the state tournament.
The Royals won an interesting battle with Benilde St. Margaret's in the Section 6 final, winning close ones in sets 1 and 2, faltering in the third, then holding off a big BSM rally in the fourth.
Going into it, we knew that Armstrong was going to be a battle, Edina was going to be a battle, and BSM definitely was going to be our main competition. So getting to play them in the finals was really exciting, and there was a lot of emotions during it, and I'm really proud of my team for fighting through adversity and coming out on top.
In the state quarterfinals, Hopkins faces a Prior Lake team that they've played twice already.
It's not going to be an easy fight, especially in state. We played them twice before, and so this is our third matchup against them. We split 1-1, so hopefully we can come out with this one with a win.
They have some really good middle hitters, and their libero really takes care of the ball well, so we'll probably play a little keep away from the libero and put a big block up.
Aside from being happy for themselves, the Royals are proud to carry on the legacy of success in the program.
Especially as a senior, coming out into this season was obviously the goal to carry on the Hopkins tradition. So being able to do that my senior year and helping younger kids figure it out and kind of show them what the legacy is about was really something special.
Now they're ready to make some new memories at the XL Center. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. The Royals made Prior Lake for the third time this season in the Class 3A quarterfinals Thursday at 9 a.m. at the XL Energy Center. Champlin Park and Moorhead play at 11 o'clock. That's all for sports today. Mike and Alex, back to you.
All right, John, thank you very much, and we'll be right back.
Welcome back. Christmas may be 6 weeks away, but holiday decorations are starting to pop up.
Yeah, Arks Value Village is ready for it. All 5 locations have opened their Merry Thriftmas shops, selling all kinds of holiday merchandise inside the stores. Ugly Christmas sweaters will sell out. The stores also received a donation of artificial Christmas trees that sell for a fraction of what you'd pay at a retail store. The nonprofit depends on sales generated from the holiday shoppers.
It really helps to support our mission. So we serve people with intellectual and developmental disabilities, and this is a great opportunity for us to raise dollars for that.
Opening day of Merry Thriftmas is always busy, but this year expect more shoppers on Black Friday too, and all holiday merchandise is half off. That'll do it. That's it for now. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
We will see you back here again on Thursday, starting at 4 o'clock.